Well, after a while, maybe another 2-3 minutes, we will start. And teachers, please take note of what today's our guest speaker is talking about. This is very important for you so that you can take few points and later on you can percolate this information to your students as well. Not only to your students, to your biological children as well. So there is always, people like Dr. Darshan always says, don't be an employee, but always be an employer. Give employment to at least 10 people around you. So that is the final thing most of the business entrepreneurs will be telling us. And I also thank some of the principals also. And I couldn't see any RCs here. I can see many PETs and PDs. I can see many principals, many teachers, and some of our office. Dr. Ramalakshman, you are there. Sakru Naik sir, are you there?
Jar sir, please. I have been joined.
Thank you. Welcome. You are as usual. You are always there. Sakru Naik sir, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, Sakru Naik sir is there, sir? Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. This particularly is also important for the your faculty also, since we have vocational colleges. Today's our guest speaker is an expert in international business, innovations, and whatever you do with business, he's an expert in that. So he will be concentrating his studies on that. So let me introduce today's guest, Professor Murali Darshan. Professor Murali Darshan.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Very good morning. Thank you, first of all. Thank you from all of us for joining us today. We have with us all our academic officers like Mr. Sakru Naik. You can see him. Sakru Naik, sir. Dr. E. Murali Darshan, Professor. Dr. Murali, Sakru Naik, sir, is our Joint Secretary Academics. He takes care of our vocational colleges. Okay. We have 38 degree vocational colleges. He takes care of them, and that is a subject which is very close to his heart. And we also have Dr. Ram Lakshman, our sports officer. We have a full-fledged sports department with more than 250 trained and experienced faculty in sports, physical directors and physical education teachers. We can see most of them have joined us today. And a word about this prestigious talk on the awakening talk. We put it as awakening talk, very meaningfully we put it. This awakening talk happens every fortnight. We invite experts from different fields. We had expert, it was inaugurated by none other than our Nobel laureate, Satyarthi, Kailash Satyarthi ji. Then we had an academician. Then we have a jailer. Then we had a sports personality, Pulala Gobichand. And now you are an expert in business entrepreneurship. We also have in the future episodes, we are also expecting spirituality and, connected with all walks of life. The idea is to introduce our officers and our officers in the field. We call them regional coordinators, our principals and teachers, and particularly students, to personalities from different walks of life. And it is on our talk. And at the end of the talk, we also have a 5 to 10 minutes interacting with the guest faculty. So this is the whole thing, sir. And
Okay, good morning, Murali Darshan ji. So we are very happy to see you on all our academic officers and sports officers, and I think the subject teachers, where some of the students are waiting for your speech. So maybe George working some technical problem. So maybe you start, please.
I am back. I have some connection issue. I am back.
Okay.
So good afternoon. I think it's already 12:03. It is time for us to start, or do we need to wait for maybe 1 or 2 minutes? So a few more people will be joining us. Sakunaik sir, meantime, you can just maybe 1 minute, you can talk about the vocational colleges, so that, Professor Murali Darshan is always, other day when I was talking to him, he was willing to say that he is willing to get associated with us despite his busy schedule. So just maybe 1 or 2 minutes, you can just brief about what are the what are the subjects we are offering to our vocational college students.
Yeah. Okay, good morning, sir, and good morning all the participants in Zoom meeting. So actually, so Jar sir, special thanks to the Jar sir. Jar sir will conduct this type of motivate and awareness. Many of the Zoom meeting he was conducted this year. So, sir, actually in our society, so you have a brief idea about that. We have a 238 institutions are there and 30 colleges are there. And regarding this, we have a one fine and arts institution, and one is armored boys, and one is armored degree college girls, and one other is computer coding, like that. And there is a very prestigious institution regarding the intermediate, and that is IIT Govt, and all the significant achievement, as you know that. So regarding this,
please tell us what are the subjects we offer for vocational colleges, so that Professor will have an idea, so that later we can get associated with you.
Yeah. And last 3 years back, we have started working 6 courses. Now we have a 13 different courses with 37 colleges. So these some of the courses is for girls, pharma technology, PSTT, and for boys there is a electrical technician. Like that, there is a 13 different courses are there, and marketing, insurance, and agriculture, and computer graphing. So these are different courses are there, sir, and we have a nearly 3,000 students with us. And every year there is a 1,400 to 1,500 students, passed out students for intermediate vocational course.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Sakunaik sir. We also have Mr. Kiran. I think Dr. Murali Darshan is associated with Synergy Foundation. Kiran, are you there? Samarla Kiran. I think, yeah, maybe later on, maybe end of the talk, we will be able to say hi to Mr. Samarla Kiran. And by the way, Professor Murali Darshan is associated with, he's one of the advisors of Synergy India Foundation, under which the Panesha Command Center works. So that is also makes familiar to us. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome all of you for our prestigious awakening talk. Let me, with wholehearted, from all of us, let us welcome Professor E. Murali Darshan, a renowned academician, foreign trade and policy experts, a business consultant, and a social activist. So welcome to you. Let me briefly introduce you to the audience today. He is an academician, foreign trade policy expert, business consultant, and social activist. He has taught at the prestigious Indian Institute of Foreign Trade as assistant professor, program coordinator, and director. He was a visiting professor at Western International University, USA, where he taught international business and international business environment. From 2011 to present, he is a visiting faculty at the Indian Institute of Packaging, where he teaches international marketing and marketing management. He also serves as an academic member to the governing body of IIP, that is Indian Institute of Packaging. He's also a visiting faculty at National Institute of Hospitality Management, Hyderabad, and teaches strategic management. Dr. Darshan has been working as an adjunct faculty for the past 2 academic years at JNTU Hyderabad, teaching entrepreneurship, human values, and ethics. Training and development for the 4th year students and success stories of entrepreneurs for the 5th year students in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering departments. Dr. Darshan has been responsible for conceiving, designing, and helping implement many innovative academic and training programs at JNTUH, National Institute of Small Industries, Entrepreneur Training, where he trained IAS officers of SAARC countries and all India trade bodies like Federation of Indian Export Organization, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce, Federation of Andhra Pradesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry, including Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad, Dayanand Sagar University, Bangalore, and the prestigious Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. At the School of Management Studies, JNTU, Dr. Darshan was instrumental in designing and starting an MBA program in international business. At the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, he designed and started the MBA pharma program. Dr. Darshan, over the past 1 year, has been involved with the program of GTZ, German Technical Cooperation Agency, in training senior bureaucrats and technocrats in various South Asian and South Asian countries. He also taught in various institutes and universities abroad, such as Kolleg Putra, Malaysia, Rafiel's Academy, Waterford Institute of Technology, Ireland, and Ashland University, Ohio, USA. Now, Dr. Darshan also played an important role in setting up business across many verticals, both in India and abroad. Example, he was the main guiding force in setting up Wellbe Foods located near Ramoji Field City. From 2015-16, as a special advisor, he has helped set up coffee plant in Kalwakuti, Mahabunar district, and helped to grow it to a 250 crores turnover company, chiefly through exports. He is now engaged in negotiating with the Ugandan government for setting up of a coffee plant to cater to European markets. Now, apart from all these things, he's also a prolific writer and engaged in sophisticated research in the area of international trade and marketing, and published many papers related to international trade and marketing. Now, as I told you, he's also familiar to us, to the society, as an advisor to Synergy India Foundation, where Mr. Kiran is the project head for Synergy India Foundation, under which the Pan-Asia Command Center works for our students and our institutions. So over to Professor Murali Darshan. We once again welcome you. Please tell us your journey and your life and journey through the whole world of business, and how do you overcome the difficulties which you faced, and also advice to our teachers, our principals, and the students in regards to entrepreneurship and innovations. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Georgie. It gives me a great pleasure interacting back home to all our ignited minds. Today, I'm so happy that there are so many teachers. The teachers play a very vital role in architecting the country. The prime time of the children, they spend from say 4 years to their 18 years and above with the teachers. And the role of teachers in economic well-being is very, very vital. And I feel so proud that I belong to the same community of teaching fraternity. My journey from Secunderabad to the world's renowned places, today I will be narrating you all. But before I go into the mainstream of activities, I want to tell 5 ethos of life, where in whichever country I teach, I begin this my speech, my lectures with these 5 ethos. The first one is you love your parents, give them the best because they are the living gods who brought you into this world, who taught you everything. Give them the best. Whatever you give, you cannot measure in value. Second, take care of your siblings, and every teacher need to keenly listen this, and this need to be inculcated into the young budding minds. Take care of your siblings. A mother, father has 5 children, and 5 children have a different lifestyles. Out of 5, there is one guy who becomes a president, a prime minister, or some XYZ minister. He never takes care of the sibling. I am not saying that you go out of the way to help your siblings, but take care of them when they need your help. You always need to have an eye on your siblings and help them to the extent possible. Third, you should be remembered by the society. Do something good. The society should admire you, that every parent should have a child like Mr. Sham or Radha or XYZ names. The society should admire you, that every parent should have a girl child like her and a boy child like him. Fourth, love the nature. A person who loves the nature, he loves everything in this world. Don't ever go against the nature. If you go against the nature will take you into the lap. What has happened in Mahabharat with Duryodhan and today's latest Saddam Hussein, or for that matter, your Gali Janardhan Reddy or XYZ. Never ever go against the nature. Power is not, the chair is not the power, it is responsibility. And finally, you should be loyal to the Almighty, like the faithful animal in the animal kingdom, like a dog. And these are the 5 ethos. If properly inculcated into the budding minds, I say, teachers, you are going to produce the best citizen of the country, and the best citizen to the nation is an asset. So with these few words, I get into my activity. Today, if you think about a world map, and when you compare this world map with few decades before, there is a drastic change. The world map has changed drastically in the last few decades. You may ask me, what kind of a change? World map is a world map. When we are talking about trade, when we are talking about business, when we are talking about entrepreneurship, there are certain things which we need to learn from around the world. Today, when we compare the world map with the previous world map, there's a lot of changes. Today, trade is done in the form of trade blocks. NAFTA, SAFTA, COMESA, SADC, Indian Ocean Rim countries, European Union countries. So the trade patterns are changing drastically. And we need to change according to the changes that are taking place, otherwise you become a history. Ambassador Fiat has never changed their, their designs. There's a reason why they have become a history. They have become a history, and today we are seeing Ambassador and Fiat is no more on the Indian roads. So what we need to learn from them is change according to the changes that are taking place, otherwise you become a history. So I'll be taking you around the world, give you some glimpses, and then I take you into the mainstream of entrepreneurship. So before we get into that, we need to know what is globalization, what has happened in globalization around the world. The process by which people, their ideas, and their activities in different parts of the world become interconnected or integrated. Today, you cannot live in isolation. You need to connect with some or the other country. You have abundant of resources, but you don't have technology. So you need to tell them, you bring your technology I use my resources, we produce and we export to the nations around the world. So these kind of synergies are taking place. These kind of integrations are taking place. These kind of mergers, acquisitions are taking place. So there's so many things happening. So first of all, a lighted candle can only light other candles. A teacher need to be having enormous knowledge. You need to equip first of all, and then you can disseminate all the information, whatever you have acquired. Globalization as a term is new, but the process is not. It shows how the world has shrunk and how people, goods, and information can be moved easily around the world. When you talk about few decades before, if you want a Nike, Reebok, Gap, I'm talking about 15, 20 years prior to 1991, hats off to the liberalization policy, globalization policy, privatization policy. There also we went wrong. Some of the participants can remind me when I go into my flow into these things. So when I say it shows how the world has shrunk and how people, goods, and information can be moved easily around the world. At one point of time, if you are an entrepreneur in India and you want to send your products for approval, you used to write a letter. And this letter used to go 30 days upward and 30 days downward. And in your letter, you have mentioned that I can supply you a product for $2 after calculating all the economics. Then when the letter comes after 60 days, in the meantime, your raw material price have shooted up in India. In India, everything is possible. So again, you need to write a letter. Where is 60 days? Today, with the advent of technology, sitting in your drawing room, you can speak to people around the world. You can communicate to people around the world. And where is 60 days? Where is 5 minutes, 10 minutes? How much time you are saving? Decisions are taken very fast. So what I mean to say is there are a lot of changes. Goods and information can be moved easily around the world. How you encash upon is left to you. And you need to always look for what is happening around the world. How can I move with my existing products? Or I am a new entrepreneur. How can I fit myself into the existing system? Trade and investment barriers are disappearing. Today, if you look at all the developed countries around the world, they started moving into Southeast Asian countries, China, because they have opened up their doors, windows, ventilators for foreign direct investments. We took so much time to open up our economy. Today, you go to Southeast Asian countries, almost most of the developed countries, companies are therein. And this is purely because of scale of economics. If I am producing some X product for $50 there in US, I am producing it for $10 here. So all these developed countries, companies started moving out of their countries. And most of the countries have also started inviting investment into their countries so that they get employment, so that they get industries. So once your employment is generated, the spending capacity of the people increases. They spend on more goods. When they spend on more goods need to be produced. To produce more goods, again, employment is required. Excuse me. So to produce more goods, more people are required. And they are so they are so encouraging in these countries that with a progressive mindset, they've opened up and they're choosing companies to come in as they required. It's not like India opened up and you're inviting even in the sectors where we are competent enough. No, they are inviting only those companies where they are not good at. This is one of the important thing every advisor who are advising the officials or the decision makers need to really look in. You cannot privatize the railways where nobody can touch you for the next 50 to 60 years. So first of all, you need to know which sectors need to be privatized and which sectors not. Then perceived distances are shrinking due to advance in transportation and telecommunication. Today you can have your breakfast here in Hyderabad, or you can have your breakfast in Mahbub Nagar, take a flight from Shamshabad, and you can have your lunch in Singapore, and you can have your dinner in Papua New Guinea, or you can have in Solomon Islands or in New Zealand or Australia. And this is possible purely because of the advance in transportation and telecommunication. I remember the good olden days, people used to go to Yadagiri Gutta, where they used to start in the morning, take a train, the train used to drop you in the evening. Today you just go, come back in no time. And this is possible purely because of the revolution in transportation. Today the speed of a jet engine has grown multifold. The diesel engine has converted into an electrical engine. Telecommunication revolution, you just go back for 15 years. In India, or particularly in Hyderabad, if somebody gets a telephone connection, they used to celebrate by calling all the relatives. Oh, my uncle got a telephone connection. And you just imagine how the revolution took place. In 1999, the mobile technology entered into Indian market. And these companies, Motorola, Nokia, Finnish companies have entered into the Indian market. And what our entrepreneurs have done, they could not able to look into. Always my suggestion to the entrepreneurs, when something is happening, you need to go back to the developed countries. What is the second stage of it? What is the third stage of it? You need to fit yourself there. You remember the mobile incoming call was 8 rupees at that point of time. And people used to show off. If somebody is there, a group of people used to go and show off, used to show off his mobile. But today, at that point of time, it was not reachable to all the people. But today, it has reached every nook and corner. Those days, it was only the rich man's game. Today, a beggar calling another beggar, hey man, where are you? Some Anadan Karkram is going on in Banjara Hills, why don't you join me? A technology at one point of time, not in your reach, has reached every income group. This is what which we need to really look in. And small ancillary industries, it may be a cover manufacturing unit, it may be a screen guard manufacturing unit. Something is coming up and ancillary industries need to come up simultaneously. That is where we need to really look in. Material culture is being to look similar. Today, you go to any of your MG market or RP Road market or any market, you find Nike, Reebok, Gap. All these products were not available few years back in India. If your uncle is going abroad, or your auntie is coming from abroad, or your brother going, or your sister going, when they're coming back, you used to request, get me a Nike shoe, get me a Reebok shoe, or get me a Nike t-shirt, a NY cap, I need a perfume. So these kind of things, all these things are available in the local market. And this is possible purely because of the globalization. Single brand, multi-brand, whatever you want. I tell you here, when I visited first time in America, my brother-in-law being a doctor, we took to purchase some shoe. I went there, I liked one shoe, it is very well designed. When I was trying it, my brother-in-law told me that, Jijaji, this is a woman's shoe. I said, who cares yaar? India में तो ये पता ही नहीं चलता यार, हम अभी तक वो level को grow नहीं करे. Shoe is a shoe. I purchased it, I liked it, I purchased it. And एक 10 साल तक भी वो design यहाँ पे नहीं आया. By that time it is over. My purpose is solved. So these are the countries, where we need to really do wonders in these countries. A country like India is a beautiful country. I've traveled more than 87 countries in the world. I've never seen a country like this. And at one point of time, even Lord Macaulay said in British Parliament that I've traveled length and breadth of India, I've never seen a beggar. And Indians doesn't lock their doors. Where this charm has gone? Because this country was invaded by so many countries several times. So many people from different parts of the world. But this country has its own charm. And we need to keep this thing intact. I am saying it is the responsibility of the teachers to ignite perfectly into the minds of young budding students. The way you nurture, they become a perfect asset to the nations. Similarly, when I'm talking about material culture, when McDonald's is here, Subway is here, KFC is here, when you go to some other country, if somebody asks you, can we have something like we visit McDonald's, you say, I have enough in India. Try something new. So these kind of things, when you get exposed to the things, you come into this form. National economy is merging into an interdependent global economic system. Today, no country can live in isolation. When I was teaching in College Putra in Singapore, in Malaysia, just because of conversation, I was talking to the car driver. I said, what all the things you people import? You know what was the answer? He said, sir, except air, we import every damn thing. You just imagine how lucky we are. And such a beautiful country. We have every damn thing in the country. So this is a gist of international. When we go into the entrepreneurship, you really love the essence. The shift towards a more integrated and interdependent world economy. The two major components, the globalization of markets and globalization of production. These are the two pillars. You need not be a manufacturer. Today, all the graduates who are studying in our schools, all the teachers who are teaching in our schools, you can write to some of the companies in the developed economies where they are looking India as a golden bird. This is the country where 29 countries living within one country. Very healthy market. If you are selling a product 2% to this country, you become a multi-billionaire. And there's a reason why every country has an eye on India. And I say to my people back home that you need not be a manufacturer. You can get the products and you can be a representative of that particular company in your country. You need not invest. You're investing your brain. You're investing your mind because you know the topography, geography, and the culture of this particular country. There's a reason why you can always bargain with this guy. He established office to you. He gives every damn thing to you because you are the son of the soil where they want to enter in. Globalization of production. At one point of time, Japan and Japanese products were ill-treated and they were not so qualitative products. But after the Second World War, every country and every country's citizens need to learn. After the Hiroshima, Nagasaki nuclear devastation, every person took the oath that we take this country to a greater heights. And they're so patriotic to the nation. Today, Japan is somewhere where nobody can reach them. See the commitment of the people of that country. And their car by name Honda Accord, which was highly sellable in America, and they were exporting from Japan, they designed in such a way to reduce the price, to do better business. They started their unit in Mexico. And all the raw material coming from more than 50 countries and people from more than 60 countries, they're producing the car there in Mexico and they are exporting even back to Japan. They're exporting to America and also back to, this is what all entrepreneurs really need to look in, to where I can produce the product less than the price prevailing in different markets across the world. So better go to the source. Better go to the source. Why American companies are coming and establishing their BPOs here? If I want to recruit a person, prior to this, all the back office operations, mana BPOs evaithe antamo, all these BPOs were in Cyprus, in Caribbean islands. But once after our academic things have changed, when we started including computer sciences in engineering and other streams like MCA and MISCA, they thought that India is also having a good, what you call, human resource which suits to their requirement. They started investing in India. And you imagine, if a person is recruited in America, you need to be given 4 lakhs per month. In 4 lakhs, you get 10 people here, or 15 people at least. And the amount of work they're giving at a very, very, very competitive price. So this all ignited minds need to really look in globalization of production, where I can go. A lot of countries comes to have a base in India. But there are certain standards which we are not maintaining, which I go into my previous slides without wasting much of your time, because time is so short here. Technology, positive drivers and negative drivers, which runs the entire world. The entire globe is run on these particular pillars. Technology. At one point of time, when I visited first time the hotel called Radisson during what you call 2001, 3, 4 like. So one of the Radisson hotel, after the bellboy took my luggage and all, so when he came into the room, he said, "Sir, you can use Alexa." I didn't know what is Alexa. Then again, when he was going after taking the tips, he said, "Sir, better use Alexa." I बोला, "यार ये Alexa क्या है?" So what's this Alexa? "Oh, sir, we have developed a software." Oh, hey Alexa, switch on the lights. बोले तो lights on कर रहा है. Switch on the TV. वो TV on कर रहा है. Then I said, "अरे यार, ये तो बहुत छोटी चीज है. I studied in my school days Alibaba 40 चोर." I studied in my school days Alibaba 40 chor, an idea, converting that idea into commercial. See the process, idea to commercial. You have an idea. If you don't take it towards a commercial, your idea remains as an idea. There are so many ideas. I'll tell you my first, as an academician, I sold my book. I was given an opportunity to draft the question paper for IIFT entrance examination, where 5 lakh people write in the country and we take only 220 students. You see that it was so tough. All IIT guys get through. 4 times I got an opportunity to design, and you don't find a single book in the market on what lines the paper is designed. So I got an idea to develop a book, a competitive book. But India, they copy very fast. So I negotiated with Himalaya. Himalaya person said, "Sir, I only print 20,000. I said, "No, you need to print more than 75,000. Otherwise," I said, "No." So he said, "No, sir, you are a new writer." Because these guys are very well, what you call, groomed business people. They know how to squeeze you. If I give for 20,000, tomorrow he gets some Elaya Malaya Pulaya and he puts his name and take our entire book published. I said, "No, I'm a very smart guy." I said, "No." Then I took leave and I came back to Hyderabad. Then I was looking for good publishers. I got vexed because it is only season. Jan exam, you need to do marketing from September, October, November, you need to close off. August, you need to start appointing. So I developed a model. I said, "Chalo yaar, you need to listen very carefully how a person can change an academician to business." So then I recruited 10 people who are very smart guys without basic education. Smart in the sense, who can talk English, who can talk Telugu, who can talk Hindi, who can talk any other additional language is an advantage. 10th failed, inter failed, looking good, who have an appearance like a graduate. Then I took 7 people who completed their graduation. And I made an analysis, how many top booksellers are there in Hyderabad? I got around 30. Top A1 Book Depot, Shraddha Book Depot, like that, in that category. Then I started my journey. 30 people who are like 10th failed, inter failed, all these 30 guys need to go and meet them at 10:45. 10 o'clock the store starts, 10:45 sharp they need to go, and they need to say only one thing, sir, do you have IIFT entrance examination book? Second guy go after 10 minutes and he says, साहब आपके पास IIFT entrance examination किताब है क्या? The third guy goes and says, sir, మీ దగ్గర IIFT entrance book ఉన్నదండి. Other guy goes and talks in his language. 30 people hitting the store, this guy goes mad. Exactly after 5 o'clock, I have sent his graduates. वो book लेके जाता है. This guy goes with a book and says, sir, do you have this IIFT entrance book? You won't believe, my dear friends. वो बोलता है book नहीं है उसके पास, I know. ये बोलता है राजू, go and check in the godown. और उसका इंडिकेशन क्या है, उसका पूरा कोने प्रिंटर देखो, उसका टेलीफोन नंबर ले लो, ईमेल आईडी ले लो, we'll speak to this guy. और वो जैसा बोलता है कि tomorrow you come and collect, my guy will go to a public telephone and used to call to office. उस समय मोबाइल फोन्स भी नहीं थे, तो बोलता है कि सर हो गया, फर्स्ट स्ट्रोक गिर गया, चलो आई वेट. used to say, यार आप है क्या प्रिंटर, आप है क्या पब्लिशर? यस, आई एम द ऑथर नॉट पब्लिशर. थोड़ा कमांडिंग आया था ना अपने को, एक दो कॉल आ गया बोले तो यू विल बिकम राजा. तो यस, आई एम द ऑथर, टेल मी, so how much can you give me? 50 rupees on this? No sir, it's not possible. Then negotiation आया, 25 rupees a book. वो बोला चलो यार 50 बुक भिजवा दो. और ऐसा I got randomly out of 30, 23 बुक सेलर से मेरे को रिक्वायरमेंट आया, 50, 25, 50, 25. Then I called for a meeting in the morning with all this 10th failed, inter failed. मैं बोला यार एक एक को कितने दोस्त हैं लिखो नाम. वो बोला है कि सर मेरा 5 फ्रेंड्स है, मेरा 2 फ्रेंड है, सबको कल मॉर्निंग बुला लेना है यहाँ पे. हाँ, यस सर. तो all the stocks were lifted. All the stocks were lifted from the bookshelves of the people to whom we have supplied. और नेक्स्ट डे फिर फोन कॉल, सर 200 किताब भेज दो, सर 300 किताब भिजा दो. Then I have put an ad in the DC saying that IFT entrance examination written entrance book written by Professor Darshan is available in the leading stores. भाई ये होता है धंधा, इसमें कोई कुछ भी नहीं है. हाउ यू कनेक्ट द डॉट्स. आज आप मट्टी भी दो, यू गिव मड. आई विल पुट अ ब्रांड लाइक तिरुपति मड, किसको मालूम है यार. आई पुट अ मड, रोम मड. क्रिश्चियन को रोम मड भेज देता हूँ, ये हिंदू को तिरुपति का मड भेज देता हूँ. यू नीड टू हैव अ टैक्टिस ऑफ हाउ टू सेल इट. But frankly speaking, I don't scoop down to that levels, but these are the traits of marketing guy. I'm a renowned professor. I have ethical values. I am known for my ethics, but I am saying these things for all the young minds, how a marketing guy can do his business, a real core marketing guy. Technology. Yeah, today, you go to Israel, get the best of the Israel technology, you become the dealer, a distributor, you have all the best security systems there. And you can sell in a country like India, where a person coming from outside, if he knocks the bell, you can see him on the screen, which is there in some of the bigger communities. And you can speak to him from your kitchen or wherever you are, and you can say, I don't need, rather than going out. And there are lots and lots of things. Today, did anybody thought मोबाइल टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसा होता बोल के कोई समझा है क्या? Mobile technology is one of the great inventions of mankind. So many people from different parts of the world coming together, and they are giving suggestions to a person who is operated in the IC operation theater. Doctors hooked up from America, Germany, Japan, and this is possible purely because of the technology. I am today sitting here in my son's study room and speaking you guys. You are from different parts of Telangana. How this is possible? And technology has made our lives more simple as well as miserable. Yes or no? The success mantra of any business is make your customer lazy. This is a success mantra. Back into subject again, technology has changed the lifestyles. And every entrepreneur need to really look in. If you are there with the new technology and you are the first intruder into the market, spend more than 42% of your earning into research. If you don't put that, you will be like Nokia and Motorola. They are the first intruders into Indian market. Immediately after some time, Samsung has taken their entire market share by just adopting Android. Touch screen. Today they are nowhere. And Samsung has entered into different income groups. You have a mobile for 5,000, you have a mobile for 3,000, you have a mobile for 1.5 lakh. So they penetrated into every income group. Second, open markets. The government need to also promote their entrepreneurs in such a way that whatever you want, you can get it, and wherever you want to sell, you can sell it. Or whatever you want to get it, and whatever you want to produce it in your country and export to or sell in your own country. But normally this was not so earlier in our markets. This has happened very recently that we have opened up, and today you are getting a laptop, you are getting a machinery, minimal duty you need to pay and get it. If you put exorbitant duty and all, you are stopping the growth of your own entrepreneurs. You charge them, but it should be amicable. Otherwise, you cannot make your entrepreneurs exposed to the latest technologies available. Then I take it on the culture side, on the negative side. Culture also play very important as far as the negative driver is concerned. I don't want to get into other things like corporate strategy is there on the positive side, on the negative side. Any good corporate strategy will make your company go global. You may be starting in some corner of Telangana, but it goes to a global level. And if you have a good corporate strategy. Here I can give you an example of cucumber. When my friend came from Russia and one of my other friend who was there from China, we were discussing because there are so many of farmers attempting suicide. So myself and one of my close friend, Mr. Krishna, we were discussing and something came out. He said, can you supply any of the agricultural products? At that point of time, the water resource was not that good. But still we said, yes, here you say something apart from agri commodities here. He said, the same agree. Then we started our journey. We started going to the marginal farmers who have a 1 acre of land, 2 acres of land. And we have given them seed, we have trained them. And so when we are tried so many people, we got only 3 to 4 people who are ready to something new we adopt kind of thing. So they came forward, we have given them seed, we have given them training, we have given them other support system. And out of 3 people grown a very good cucumber. So we have taken the stocks and we exported. Per acre, we have given them 60,000 per acre. They were so happy, and this thing spread across the Mahbub Nagar, Karnool. So today there are 5,000 people working over a period of 15 years. 5,000 farmers working, and we give only to the selected. And you go to Russia, sit in any restaurant, you see what you call Velby, what you call processed cucumber. They pluck it at a very young age, very small. You get a good pricing. So today you go there and you sit in any food court, you see our product there. When you have a right corporate strategy, you grow globally. When you have a wrong corporate strategy, Satyam has grown to global level with a small mistake of theirs gone wrong, and the company got ruined. When you are globally known, why can't you develop your other vertical? When you are known in software, you develop a water bottle, pen, anything on that name, because people know that and they take you and your product. Culture is one of the important things which India is known for across the world. People are making business out of the culture. See, all the teachers we know, in my school days, I only aware of Teachers' Day, Children's Day, what else? Independence Day. Like that we had few. But today you have Auntie's Day, Uncle's Day, AIDS Day, whatnot. But in a country like India, other countries are doing business even on the culture. Mother's Day, so many people take gifts and give it to, you are not in European countries where at the age of 14, a child goes out. People doesn't know, the parent doesn't know where the child is, children doesn't know where the parents are. One fine morning she calls, Mama, I love you, happy Mother's Day. Mama says, oh my sweetheart, I love you too. हो गया conversation खत्म. आप लोग पूरे teachers हैं. Just 3 days, you adopt my strategy. Your school starts at 9 o'clock, ends at 3 o'clock. Go home. First day 10:30 को जाओ, second day 12 o'clock को जाओ. बस हो गया आपका काम खत्म. वो बोलता है अब वो रिनाउंड टीचर है भाई, बहुत हो गया आपका टीचरगिरी, कल से you don't go. If he is a student, if he does that, father says, oh, enough, yaar, you have become a Bill Gates. From tomorrow onwards, if you go to your college or your program, I will kick you out of the house. Because we are dependent, they are independent. Even at the age of 60, if my mother is still alive, if I am coming half an hour late, she says, beta, is all okay? Why are you late? We are in this kind of, but the cultural fabric in this country is also getting polluted through the Western impositions. So I'll stop it here. Now we go into the mainstream of today's what you call session. The entrepreneurship is a willingness to take risk and develop, organize, manage business venture in a competitive global marketplace. You need to know how best you can do it. I'll give you an example. When one of my friend who is an IS officer taken over APCO. APCO, you all know, this was there before Chandana Brothers, Bommana Brothers, RS Brothers, Taruni. It was having its outlets from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. When he has taken the what you call charge, he said, Prof, you need to train our general managers from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. I said, okay. Then after that, I did a lot of research. I went to almost most of the places in South India. Then I realized, see, they were on the ventilator. APCO was on a ventilator. I did a study and I said, okay, fine, let me give my dosage. You know, towel, you all know towel. Towel in India has a great shelf life. First we use, later it go for mopping and it becomes a foot mat in India. An ordinary middle income group. पहला अपन यूज करते हैं, उसके बाद में घर में मॉपिंग को जाता है, उसके बाद में वो डोर के सामने फुट मैट बनता है. Shelf life is very, very high. Then I could able to speak to my friends in some of the developed countries where I have picked up orders, lakhs of pieces, use and throw on the beaches. With that, APCO got breathing. And in Africa, there is no rituals made, whether it is a Muslim country or a Christian country, without white, they don't perform any rituals. I got huge orders from Africa, where I'm very close to some of the presidents and the prime ministers. And we have supplied. With that, APCO has become little bit healthy. And you don't know the APCO products produced in Warangal jail, which are sold in the best of the outlets in UK, the carpets. And we don't know that. So what is required is you club this particular thing with the Indian Institute of Fashion Technology, get the best of the designs, take away the routine designs. So there is an improvisation which need to come in years together if you are using the same kind of. I have given advice to the government, sir, when Chandana brothers can make it, when Bommana brothers can make it, you create a big building and name it as Chaineta Brothers, where they give an opportunity to an entrepreneur who is a weaver. अरे यार, आंख में पानी आ गया मुझे कि वो वीवर उसको ड्रेस भी नहीं रहता, अपने लिए ड्रेस डालता है, वो 6 साल के लिए काम करता है, 3 महीने के लिए काम करता है. I said, how much time you take? He said, sir, in 3 months we prepare this sari. How much you get? Sir, I get somewhere around 500, 600. And the same sari a guy takes to the showroom and he sells it for 22,000, 25,000. So I said, this need to be stopped. You develop, you give a space to the, what you call the weaver, let his son sit there. Whatever he sell, you take 5%. But apne paas kaun sunta hai? I've given the best of the examples. When I drafted the first foreign trade policy of Andhra Pradesh, I've given an opportunity that by we can eradicate employment to a greater levels. One concept, maintenance of ships. The ships which are traveling on Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean can get their maintenance done on our, what you call high sea, on our ports. What we need to do, ITI students need to be perfectly trained in the area of fitter, fitting, turner, plumbing, electrician. These areas, if you are training, and we can create not less than 3 to 4 lakh jobs. Similarly, highly educated people, at one go we are sending into orbit 34, what you call satellites. What is the use to my people and my community, where most of the countries, 90% of the income generation is from the entrepreneurs of that particular country. So these 34 satellites, how it can be used by private individuals? There are countries, they don't even have their own satellites. You can take the services, GIS reports, then mapping, crop patterning, all this thing can be given to those countries who don't have their own satellites. And where you need to train these people. Today we are talking about the subject called artificial intelligence. We don't want to get into artificial intelligence because ours is a thickly populated country. We need to get into programming, how the machines can be developed. We need to be there in the programming. You give the entire mission, sell to those countries where you don't find anything. When I visited Finland, I was shocked to see there is nobody in the restaurant. There is nobody in the restaurant. मैं उधर देख रहा था Indian system के जैसा. Some person will come, he will take an order. So my elbows touched the table. Suddenly the table got a light and menu card is there. There is all things on the menu. A burger, a water bottle, Coke. Send. I got a reply, ting tong, 52 number. I went there, person took my card and delivered. You cannot do this in India because we are thickly populated. So we need to adopt those things which is suitable to our environment. And there are plenty in number. How to design these things, we can make it. So then comes to entrepreneurs need to have a good understanding of their market. You need to understand the market, first of all. If you don't understand the market, I mean, whatever you do, it goes in vain. I've given you an example of my IFT book I mentioned here. Sometimes we get out of the mind. So when I'm talking about these things, Peter Drucker, a guru of management, he says, one who considers the change that takes place in market as an opportunity to do business. Innovations is a tool. This you need to always identify. You need to identify these things. There is a self-learning kits. I'll tell you, there is a self-learning kit. A school student who is in the LKG, or you just give that laptop. This was produced by a Chinese company. I bought to my child in when I was in US. She was in LKG. Today she is pursuing her MBBS in Poland. I have never seen such a product in India. And you just give that laptop to the kid, and if they say press A phonetic sounds. A says a, B says ba, C says ka. And next stage is, can you spell cat? If you say CAT, it gives an answer. You're excellent. If you say CTA, it says, I'm sorry, you're wrong. So the boy or a girl learns English by themselves. So there's saying something. These kind of self-learning kits are plenty in number. We need to get it, supply it to all the schools. And even if you put 500 a margin, and not only this, it is also having calculations, mathematics, rhymes, and piano. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा बोर हो गया, मम्मी piano भी चला सकती है. So these kind of things plenty in number. Georgie, I will wrap up. I have time.
I think, sir, another 5 minutes.
Okay, fine. Then I get into the mainstream.
5 minutes for maybe one or two very important questions.
Fine. Do you know life is about creating value, taking calculated risk, listening to your heart, realizing your aspirations? My journey from a small place where my mother is not studied, my father is not studied. But since my school days, I have a desire to get into foreign trade. I don't know how that came into my mind. And you remember, I mean, I wrote IIFT entrance examination. I didn't got through, but I didn't stop my journey. I was recruited as a researcher, elevated to a level of professor there. I did excellent research. I am known for my research. You give me any product and its product code, I will tell you from which country is producing this, who are the major exporters, who are the major importers, where you stand. Any product, pin to aeroplane, we have a software. So is entrepreneurship. Why are entrepreneurs unique? You need to have a different thought. You need to think differently. You talk about Shehnaz Hussain. Shehnaz Hussain is a lady. She borrowed 10,000 from her father, and she started facial, then mehndi in a corridor. And today, you see, she is having more 3,000 outlets and 300 manufacturing units. When I was in West Africa in Ghana, I went to my breakfast, the restaurant. Two couples were sitting. They said, good morning. I said, good morning. She asked me, you are from? I said, I'm from India. Oh, you're from Shehnaz's country. I didn't know till that point. Who is this Shehnaz? So when I Googled it, I came to know that, oh, she is a remote place where a woman talking about her products, you just imagine. And today she has created a lot of employment. Our herbal cosmetic products is known across the world, which is highly priced. She is unique. She has taken to a different levels. Because some define their lives Anil Ambani's father. Then you have a guy who has revolutionized in aviation sector. Then you have a giant in steel sector, Reliance, aviation, and these two guys are Indian origin, born in Britain. And the story of Ambani, every entrepreneur need to read it, how he started a business from 15,000, today uncountable treasury has made. Similarly, Lakshmi Mittal, who has become a tycoon in steel sector. He turned around the sick units into healthy units. And similarly, you have Richard, who really bought in Virgin Atlantic to a greater levels. Some changed the world, some changed their country. Suchiro Honda. You all know this guy, you all know this guy. Yes or no? Steve Jobs, Apple Computers, Bill Gates. Bill Gates has developed a good name, but he spoiled his name with the pandemic. Money is not everything. Serving community is the biggest thing in this world. But when you want to make commercial out of that, is wrong. Then similarly, a big giants in India, Dr. Kurian revolutionized what a white revolution. Narayan Murthy, Infosys, Tata. These are all the people who really brought a revolution in the industrial area, some in software, some in other sectors. So these are the things where people need to really learn, and school students need to read, students who are in their higher education need to read about all these things. Anshul, 13, he goes to school, fight with sister, does his homework. At the age of 13, he is an entrepreneur. And similarly, some in college, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, the guy who at the age of 22, brought in a revolution where nobody thought that what Facebook can do. Then a guy collecting garbage, making plant feed out of it. See what not they are doing. Just I will glance one by one, and these are the things. I'll send it across. Georgie, you can send it to all the teachers. Compelling reasons why do we need entrepreneurship? 90% of the world jobs are created by entrepreneurs, not the banks. Problem solvers, source of new product and innovation. It is the entrepreneurs, not the central bank, which creates the economy of that particular country. And this is which is very much required in this country today. And legal framework should also ease their operations. A person going every college and university need to have an incubation center, innovation center. If they're coming out with some novel thought, it need to be given to a professor, and they need to evaluate it from all the angles and do the commercial, spend on his mind, adopt him and spend money on him, and he will come out with these kind of things which are there in our country. And teachers also, sometime I have seen, whatever the questions students ask, we need to be very, very polite in answering them. In Indian context of education is different. If a student asks a question, you say, right, kurchora. No. If you don't know as a teacher, you need to tell that I don't know, but tomorrow I'll answer your question. There is no guarantee that every person should know all the things. If I think that I am a knowledgeable person in this entire world, I'm a fool on this earth. Even I don't know certain things where I learn from my son. If I beat my son in the morning for some reason, I just bashed him when he was very young. But when I call him back, beta, he will comes back without keeping anything in his mind. But if you bash a guy who is an engineering student, he asks you, Papa, I need a mobile phone, that too high-end mobile phone. You say, first you pass your engineering. Then you call him after 5 minutes, beta, वो सुनता भी आपको respond नहीं करता है. But what I have learned from my son is that you need not keep anything in your mind. The same thing need to be inculcated to our young minds. In a business sense, it is an idea that has commercial potential. As I told you, take an idea and go towards develop the concept and to a commercial. You will be successful. Whoever it is, for that you don't need to have a basic education. You need to be committed, whatever. So all these things is there, the essence, what kind of a characters an entrepreneur need to have: risk taker, prospective, curious, imaginative, persistent, goal setting, hardworking. These are all things, some of the qualities which are there in every individual, but this need to be ignited, this need to be seen in a different way. Self-confidence. Most of the South Indians, we parents teach them, yeah, study well, take a government job and settle down. But North India people, if his 10th pass or 10th failed, even during his 5th standard vacation, the father takes him to the shop. वो कैसा धंधा करना फादर के पास देखता है. And a person comes to his shop, this guy, young guy, 8th class वाला, father को देखता है. When there is no product, his father says, just wait, I will send a boy to Godan. ये सुनता है अपने को गोडान ही नहीं है, बेटा को मालूम है अपने को गोडान ही नहीं है, we don't have Godan. How can my father say this guy goes to the next shop and get the product? तो बच्चा भी अडॉप्ट करता है same thing. So these kind of things which are plenty in number, but whereas North South, वो बोलता है my son is highly qualified, he know how to calculate money. That is the biggest qualification. And that guy drives a BMW, Audi, Mercedes. ये गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स करता है और उसको दुनिया भर टेंशंस. So what I'm saying is, you be in this, but still you have 24 hours here. You can do wonders. You can do 24 hours is a very, very, very big time. You need to know time management, ethics. And with these few things, I will take you to agree. This 1-2 minutes I will take it. And this slide is very, very important. People can really redefine India in this sector. See, normally my session goes for 3 hours, wherever I any kind of, because of your time constraints. See, entrepreneurs, opportunities in agriculture sector. You just imagine, second largest edible land. We are diverse agroclimatic zones, round the year sunshine. Today countries को आपको 6 months sunlight नहीं रहता भाई साहब. Potential to cultivate a vast range of agricultural products, large marketable surplus, abundant of raw material for processing, vast pool of skilled manpower in research and extension. Such a great country is ours. When Israelis visited India, Andhra Pradesh, the United Andhra Pradesh, they said, if we would have had Krishna and Godavari and a land like yours, we would have supplied agricultural commodities to the entire world. It's a shame on the part of our people. You need to really come up, wake up. And you see here, edible land, we are number 2. Irrigated land, number 1. Wheat, we are number 2. Rice, paddy, grains, coarse grain, milk, fruits, vegetables, edible oil, pulses, sugarcane. भाई क्यों export नहीं कर रहे? Why are you not exporting? See, there are stringent rules and regulations as far as agri-commodities is concerned. A small example I'll give it here. You drink tea, coffee, milk, and we feed our cattle the grass grown by Musi river on either side, the Musi water they cultivate, and this grass you put it to the cattle, a cattle will take it, and a kind of what you call metals content will be there in that, which comes in the form of milk. And you take tea, coffee, you go to coffee day, Starbucks, you order cappuccino. इसमें यार मिल्क अगर कहीं ऐड कर रहा है तो उसमें मेटल कंटेंट रहता है. And any milk product which you are exporting, when they say that your milk is not consumable. So these are the back end things if we are not making it properly. See, fruits. Somebody comes from America, अपना fruit pulp लेता है. मैडम जी लोग, सर जी लोग सुनो, अपना fruit pulp लेता है और उसको ब्रांडिंग करता है माजा. एंड मजा वो लेता है, माजा अपने को पिलाता है. How, see, people, water, mineral water, India doesn't require mineral water. More than 75% of our water is just going waste into the drain, into the sea. You don't have proper channeling mechanism, and you are bringing American companies to give you a name called Kinley और अपने को बोलता पी ले. Where are we going? It's a beautiful country. I'm saying all people need to really put in their efforts to build this country back to its charm. Then see, India produces 41% of the world mango, 23% of banana, 24% of cashew nuts, 10% of onion, 30% of cauliflowers, 36% of green peas. George sir, you should see that in rural villages, tomatoes at times they throw in the fields. They throw in the field. Sometimes tomato is 100 rupees a kg.
But now
I
it's
tell
costly.
our policymakers, you need not break your heads. Go to Singapore, Malaysia, get the outdated technology and process these tomatoes into tomato ketchup, tomato sauce. Tell your government officials to come out with a geo that 40% of the rural produce need to be taken by all the multinationals. It may be KFC, it may be McDonald's, it may be Subway. Business कैसा नहीं बनता है? Rural people को economically well-being क्यों नहीं कर सकते? These are all the things. With these few things, I thank the authorities, the organizers for giving me this opportunity in interacting. Next time, we will go with some of the best examples. You need to know about, all youth need to study about the oil rooms. Then you all need to study about this lady, Asha, a beautiful story. I was really impressed. Married to a businessman and they were living very happy life with 2 children. All of a sudden, he got paralysis and she doesn't have any knowledge about the operations of the industry. She sold the industry. Then she was taking care of him. All the money given back to from where they have lent, and slowly she was taking care of the husband. And she used to take care of 2 kids, their education, and then immediately after some time, whatever the earnings or savings which were there, she spent on him, and nature not allowed, he got an heart attack and he died. And she was so deep into the crunches, and she used to take the children to school. She got an idea. See the idea, how it transformed to a healthy lady, wealthy lady. And she used to take the 2 kids to school. She requested her neighbors. She said, I will also take your children. Please pay me something to feed my children. And she was taking 2 children. Then she applied for a loan to take a van. Simultaneously, she has undergone driving school, got trained. She took a van, and that too with the help of her son's father, who is a banker. And today she has more than 15 vans and 6 minibuses where she takes 500 children. This is a great story. I just damn care about Bill Gates. These are the stories which inspire. From nothing to something. And she has all the lady drivers. Why? You know the importance of mother, how mother takes care of the kid. She is the best manager. She is the best manager, and there's a reason why people trusted her. Today, she has all her clients, all the children whom she used to take school, they are in America, Germany. They have funded her, and she has a big empire in Mumbai. Everybody knows about Akka Van Auntie. With this, Thank you very much, Georgie, and all my community teachers. Thank you very much. You have any questions, you can ask me.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It was so inspiring, so nice. We all feel like leaving our profession and jumping into business after listening to you. No, due to positive, sir, if you can exit from your screen sharing, I can see everyone on the screen.
Yeah, one second.
Yes.
It's okay.
So thank you, sir. And due to lack of positive time, we can take only one or two questions. Please raise your hand. So if you can raise your hand, I will pick up the question. Yes, I think Dr. Ram Lakshman. Dr. Ram Lakshman, yes, over to you. Please go ahead.
Sir, sir, thank you very much for taking a pain to have such a great person as a keynote speaker of today's Awakening Talk. सब बड़ा टीचर है, ऑर्डिनरी टीचर नहीं है, एक बड़ा टीचर है. But recently I have seen in a leading paper that the crypto bill to be tabled, that means Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister, said the bill to be introduced in Lok Sabha will take care of all apprehensions. In this regard, I have only one question, but in that one or two questions also might have been added. What is the cryptocurrency, sir, Darshan ji? And can ordinary persons do transaction with this crypto?
Good question,
if we
sir.
do,
Good
sir.
question, but it takes a very big time to explain you. I put it into a nutshell because this is happening across the world. If you are taking something, you need to know a genuine wallet. Genuine wallet is a guy who is dealing which currency is this, where they have their head offices, what is the track record. I mean, without knowing, most of the people enter into things and they burn their fingers, sometimes themselves. So it is in a very nascent stage, but it is already going. Already Bitcoin is available in most parts of the world. Transactions were taking place. One of the company which is going to launch very shortly, where I'm also chief advisor to them, which is going to take Sanjay Dutt as their brand ambassador. They spend more than 60 crores. They have their offices across the world, and they have their foreign exchange centers in all the airports. But when it comes to what you call cryptocurrency here, the government is playing differently, but it is existing. Please don't invest just like that without a proper guidance from the experts. Share market में आप जैसा भी पैसे लगाते, but you need to know what is that company, since how long they are existing, who are their mergers, where they are getting, is there any new acquisitions, what is the track record. If they are joining hands with somebody, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and myself, we were on the board. The moment Rakesh Jhunjhunwala joins a company, share automatically shoot up ho jata hai. So cryptocurrency is a new term. There are banks which are going to come. Under cryptocurrency, there are credit card, debit cards which are going to come. Presently, there are 4 banks across the world they are into, with the legal framework in their respective countries. Apna country mein legality nahi hoga, but in some of the countries it is there. You can buy any commodities. Agar car purchase karna, it can be. Commodities purchase karna, it can be. It has not become legal. To put it into a simple this thing, tax avoid करना है बस. तो यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट को टैक्स पे करके भी क्या फायदा है बोल के लोग ऐसा एक नया करेंसी स्टार्ट करें, and this itself is a cryptocurrency.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Darshan sir, thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
Over to George, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think our technical people have given me a question that's already 20 past 1. So I think there are many people appreciated you through message that it's a wonderful session. So, Professor Murali Darshan, it was a wonderful session. We only wish we had more time to listening to you, so that those stories of inspiration, which the latter part of your talk was centered around the students and especially the Vanaka. So people like, I think you have hundreds of stories like that in your kitty.
Oh, plenty of stories.
Yeah, so it is something very wonderful. We wish we had more time with you. Maybe given a time, do kindly associate it with us. We would be happy to be listening to your talk once again. Now, I think I'm getting lots of messages from all our participants saying that it was a wonderful session. They immensely enjoyed it. So thank you very much, Professor Murali Darshan, for spending your
Thank you very
1
much.
hour and 20 minutes with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So this is from all
Thank
of
you
us.
to all.
Thank you so much, Tole.
Thank you very much.
And thanks to all the participants for listening to Professor Murali Darshan. With a lot of experience in business, commerce, and entrepreneurship, I'm sure that spend a day with him, you will leave your profession and jump into be in the market session, as he has said it. That's an inspiring talk he has given us today. So thank you so much to all of you so much. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I wish you all a great success in future endeavors.
Thank
all
you,
the
sir.
teaching fraternity. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The dear participants, if you have still some more questions, you can always write to me. I will pass on these questions to Dr. Darshan. I think this session is very useful for you, so that you can always tell your students these stories of motivation. Please do read stories of motivation from the net, and you can share with the students. Now, whenever you get some time, when you are tired of teaching your academic subject, you can always talk to the students about these stories of success. So thank you so much for once again to all of you.